You're listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter read-aloud version of my daily horoscope published on Substack. If you would like to read this, please click on the link in the description box below. Without further ado, here is the daily horoscope. Listening may be your best tool for this weekend's energy. New Moon in Virgo, square Mars in Gemini, Venus square Uranus and opposite Saturn, Mercury in Libra to the rescue. Weekend horoscope for Saturday and Sunday, August 27th through the 28th, 2022. Welcome to the AstroMommy Newsletter, a daily horoscope that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. This is a reader-supported publication, meaning it only exists thanks to the generous support of people like you. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being here. If you find value in the daily horoscope and tarot card reading, please help AstroMommy grow by hitting the heart like button, sharing this newsletter with a friend or on social media, leaving a comment, subscribing, or upgrading your subscription. I truly appreciate you being in my community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. Blessings. Good morning, friends. There are only a few more days of my temporary every other day posting schedule. We start our homeschool year on Monday, so I will be skipping Tuesday's daily horoscope, but we'll be back to the normal schedule starting on Wednesday. If you have any comments or questions, you can reply to this newsletter or send me a private email. I have a new client 2 reading special going on right now where you get 2 readings, a natal and a solar return for a discounted price. You can find out more information about how this special works by clicking on the links in this newsletter or in the description box of the YouTube video. Also, at some point today, I will post the word list for the Lunar Poetry Slam due on the upcoming full moon, so keep an eye out for that. Okay, now let's get into the astrology. Last night, my brother came over, and he and I and my youngest son played Super Mario Brothers until late into the night. It was the most fun I've had in a long time. At one point, my son and I were laughing so hard that our cheeks hurt, and he peed a little. This experience is a great positive example of one of this weekend's transits, Venus opposite Saturn, square Uranus. Venus opposite Saturn can be an experience where a bond deepens. I could feel my heart growing last night with love and affection for both my son and my brother, just laughing together and making memories that will forever fill our hearts with eternal smiles. And then the sudden and unexpected accidental urination. How Uranus! It was great. It was one of those nights that will inevitably turn into a story that is passed on and will never lose its depth of feeling. In this newsletter, I'm going to talk about the transits that are happening this weekend and offer some positive and negative manifestations that may be possible. As always, there are thousands of ways that these archetypal energies can mix and manifest, so these are just a few ideas, but I hope they are helpful. I would love to hear about your experiences and how these energies play out for you this weekend. Please leave a comment or two if you'd like. I am also going to share a little bit about how this new moon is personally transiting my chart at the end of the newsletter. So if that is something you're interested in, please stick around. By the time everyone is reading this newsletter, the sun and moon will have met up at 4:16 a.m. Eastern Time in a new moon. The new moon in Virgo energy is a fresh start, a new cycle of awareness, and a rebirth into the reality of the moment. With the Virgo energy, it's a good time to pay attention to your present circumstances and use whatever resources you have to manifest what you desire. Virgo season is all about self-resourcefulness because Virgo is represented by the virgin or the unowned woman, the feminist of the universe, if you will. So there's both a graceful and understanding side of Virgo and also an anxious and critical side. This energy wants perfection and purity, but the reality is that perfection and purity are unattainable, so there needs to be compassion and acceptance at the same time. It's an interesting dichotomy. The night will be dark on Saturday, and we won't see the moon, but by Sunday night, the crescent moon will emerge above the horizon after sunset, horns pointing towards the east, marking the rebirth of the moon, as she emerges from the swallowing light of the sunbeams and is able to reflect the sun's light again. I love this little poem to help one remember the phases of the moon by Christina Rossetti. O Lady Moon, O Lady Moon, your horns point toward the east. Shine, be increased. O Lady Moon, your horns point toward the west. Wane, be at rest. The moon will move into Libra early Monday morning, so we will have this new moon energy in Virgo all weekend long. The new moon is also making a square to Mars in Gemini, so this is both the sun and the moon squaring Mars together early in the morning on Saturday, and then the sun will stay within the orb of this challenging square energy all weekend. So some positive manifestations of the Sun square Mars energy could be lots of energy, vitality, and passion for things, especially mentally stimulating activities, and wanting to find a solution. For the Gemini Virgo energy is very much about figuring things out and coming up with a workable outcome. Some negative manifestations of this dynamic could be impulsive behavior, heart problems, fire, haste, and unregulated energy in general. Our minds could feel like they are literally on fire with thoughts, or we could experience physical inflammation of some kind. So some soothing anti-inflammatory tea could be helpful. Also, becoming exact on Saturday is Venus in Leo square Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Some positive manifestations could be surprising ingenuity, new and exciting friendships, or love at first sight. Some negative things to watch out for would be unpredictability in close relationships, including infidelity, one-night stands, and sudden breakups. This transit could bring a sudden change in finances that could go either way and be a gain or a loss. So just expect the unexpected in areas of love, relationships, the arts, and finances. I wouldn't be surprised to see sudden breakups of celebrities or newsworthy financial market swings with this transit. The big transit that is perfecting on Sunday is Venus in Leo opposite Saturn in Aquarius. This transit happens every year as Venus makes her way around the zodiac. So I was looking back through my pictures to see if I had any photos to jog my memory of what was going on in my personal life during that time. There was only one photo that was close enough to the day where Venus opposed Saturn last year, on July 7th, 2021. And it was this quote: "The scars you share become lighthouses for people who are headed for the same rocks you hit." I think it is actually really fitting for the combination of these two energies. Some of the positive manifestations of Venus opposite Saturn are dutiful connections with others, responsible relationships, romantic involvement with an older person, reliable friends, and improved income from one's career. I feel that this quote is representative of the deeper connection you can make with friends or loved ones by sharing the hard lessons you've gone through in life, and Saturn is the planet that seems to be a major dealer of life lessons. Some negative manifestations of this transit could be inhibitions in close relationships, emotional disappointment, chilled affections, as well as financial losses or decreased income. So I feel that the experience of playing Mario Brothers with my 11-year-old son and my brother was representative of this transit in that it was a deepening of a bond and a making of a pleasant memory. Venus rules my 5th house of children, and Venus is transiting my 3rd house of siblings, and Saturn is natally placed in my 4th house of family. You can't make this stuff up. These are some positive Venus-Saturn examples, and since right now my natal Saturn is in a trine from transiting Pluto, and Venus is the more powerful benefic in my natal chart, I think that is why, so far, the opposition has been a positive manifestation rather than a negative one for me. I have recently learned about the differences between a day and night chart in ancient astrology, and I am eager to put the new techniques I have learned to the test. This is a technique that is not used in modern astrology as far as I know, and it seems to be a really useful one. I used it to figure out what I just said about the Venus-Saturn transit for myself. So simply, if you were born during the day, you have a day chart, and if you were born during the night, you have a night chart. Depending upon this, certain planets have more or less agency in your life. Because I was born at night, Venus is the more powerful benefic in my chart, and Saturn is the more powerful malefic. What this means is that where my Venus is placed, in my 7th house of relationships, love, and other people, I have more fortunate experiences. This can be seen in my long-term happy marriage and the blessings of 5 children. And that the most challenging area of my life, where my Saturn is placed in my 4th house of family, home, and parents, which can also be seen in my long-term marriage and the blessing of 5 children. So with this simple technique, you can see where your life is the most fortunate and where it's most challenged. All right, enough astrology school. Let's pick a card for the weekend. The card for the weekend is Wordless Reversed. In this picture, you see a picture of books on a shelf and an open book in front of them and the word wordless at the bottom. But it is turned reversed, so the word is upside down and at the top, and the books and stuff are at the bottom of the card. The divination for the card in the accompanying book says, Despite the obvious function of symbols, direct revelation has the primal place in realization. There are many means of communication that do not involve words, and the appearance of this card in a reading might mean that nonverbal messages are being sent. Since this card is in the reverse position, I feel it is actually a reminder to use our words in a diplomatic way this weekend to communicate our feelings. But I also feel that this card upright is important because Mercury in Libra is an amazing listener. And Mercury is in Libra right now. Mercury in Libra is the quintessential interviewer, listening and asking the right questions at the right time. So I think that this card is a reminder for us to choose our words wisely and only talk when we need to. It may be hard to shut up and listen, especially with Mars in Gemini and the Sun and Moon in Virgo, but I think that this is what this card is reminding us to do. What's that trite saying? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I think this is very Mercury and Libra, always wanting to keep the peace, but also collecting information that it can use to make the case for or against the relationship. The Libra energy is always asking, do I want this person as my partner, ally, or client? If we utilize this energy masterfully this weekend, maybe we can avoid all the quarrels, and people will walk away from the conversation feeling great because they talked our ears off about themselves. I would love to know if this resonates with you. Do you have Mercury in Libra? And if so, are you naturally a good listener? Inquiring astrologer wants to know. Now, on to a little bit about how this new moon is transiting my personal chart. So this new moon is conjoining my natal Mars, which is already in a square with transiting Mars, and squaring my natal Sun, as well as opposing my natal moon. So this new moon energy is activating my natal T-square and creating a grand mutable cross within my chart. Simply speaking, it means change and transition. This is a really powerful new moon for me, and I'm already feeling the effects of this energy. I've had a lot more energy, and not always the pleasant kind. I have wanted to throw my phone multiple times due to the technical difficulties I have been experiencing with the audio-video editing app that I am using. But I didn't. Maybe that is a preview of the upcoming Mercury retrograde. I don't know, but I have been emotionally on edge and have been trying hard to keep my cool. I know that this energy is best used to clean my house, prepare for homeschooling, or work out, rather than blowing up at my family members, so that has been my focus, hence the deep cleaning of my kitchen, even though the moon was in Leo at the time and all I really wanted to do was eat ice cream and watch TV. The sun always makes this alignment every year around this time to my natal sun, my natal moon, and my natal Mars. So that energy is nothing new, but a new moon and a square to Mars are not always present. So that has been different. The main thing that I am focusing on with this transit is utilizing this powerful physical energy in a useful and productive way, rather than in an explosive, regrettable way. With Mars, the energy has to come out, so cleaning my house and doing my best to keep my sense of humor have been the best medicines. I would have to say that laughing with my son and brother last night was such a great way to use this energy. Laughing is totally physical and is such a great healer. I just wanted to share a little bit about what I am personally feeling with this transit in case anyone else is feeling this energy in a similar way. So there's my lighthouse. I hope this is helpful. Until Monday, AstroMommy. Today's horoscope was brought to you by the new moon in Virgo, square Mars, Venus square Uranus and opposite Saturn, and Mercury in Libra. Useful links: new client 2 reading special, book a reading, chat with me on social media, family Etsy shop. Today's card was pulled from Morgan's Tarot, available on Amazon. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a small commission, but there are no additional costs to you. I don't share or recommend things I don't 100% believe in and use myself. Thanks so much for listening.